We were marching, everybody going to wear black. But the minister said that they put that, you never say they will wear black. We'll go to the marshal, we'll go to the marshal. The liar, they get there, the information director, the information minister is a black liar. The people came to see. He came after when he saw us. He sooner he said, your boys are coming to Podina, coming back. He never came back. He just left on the only thing they did, they called the police are stopping us all over the place. So if they will kill us, they must be ready to kill us someone. We are Liberian. We work and we earn our own money.
They come and say the king to rescue or the king to kill us slowly. There's some of us, we are 10 children, no husband, to even help us to sustain our children. Now on the side what we're sending, that Susu can help us to pay our rent, to pay our children's school fee. But they come here, people come here around, they tell us that we should leave the sidewalk. And once at the seven, they sort of be careful with. They want us, they poo water running from China Baby. They don't put the effort to clear the poo. Yeah. Beyond Central Bay, all in the car, the necklace, Nana, and I in the crack on the car. They all the favorite necklace, they can occupy the car. They come and see that one. But with the innocent people, why we know our job facility, our children all our house we college, and the business between us sustain our children. Just like Baka King to kill and they can rescue. What if they should vote for our children fisher? They don't want our children fisher. They can damage our children fisher. If they love the citizen, if they don't want riot, police or soldier, nobody can support because now when we get our daily bread for none of the brown men, they don't support each children with a mother, with a husband, with everything in the home. That some of us will not educated at the business backing or some when they temper around or temper they will pull. Some of us will not of our weapon. We're gonna medicine there. But when you come into tell our pocket, we'll plan your eye. We will cripple you. Papa signal will whistle on you because we fell out with that nonsense in their country. Yeah, you say I'm gonna rescue them, one kill or slaughter. That kill them. So they kill my police, they kill me around with selling police, they kill not get all awareness. For now up to the 7, they will see on the street. That's why I don't get nobody job facility. And now on the street, the people from the federal office they can come by our son. I want people making it. Yeah, and that business will not belonging in market. And on the street, and I'm market or say woman in a general market. Say la brava phone all over the world, Great America. They started on the street. Africa, they started on the street. That they la brava. What they improve that they want suppress up on the street.
They bring her to go to remain too.
So the man wanted for you to go sleep on the web post.
Yeah. He said I'm joining to post it to the web minister to get money to the so that we go take it from there. I said, my man, we bad for the same lecture.
Then how can the people catch you now?
The people before the man call me back. I was on the 18th.
The same man now.
Yeah, the same man.
The same man who want for you to go sleep.
Yeah, he called me on the 18th.
Yeah.
Now in the around about 8:30, he met for me. He said, "Oh, my man, I'll let you I'll call you by again."
So that time you go to work?
I go to work.
You do for your working place, you come to the man.
Yeah, I'm from to my working area to Clarence to now go to the man.
To go steal now?
No, I'm not go steal. I go to yeah. How you question me? The thing you want for me to explain for you to understand, then still questioning me, dropping the question. How many talk clear now?
I beg you sorry.
I see.
When
they met for me in there, he asked me, say, how many of you are working to the area? I say, we are 3.
I told the message you're 3.
Yeah. So he said, I want to give you tea to carry to
the message. Want to give you what tea?
Tea. Have milk tea.
Oh, milk tea.
Yeah.
For you to drink
with bread.
The bread.
3 pieces of pure bread.
With egg inside.
With egg inside my butter. So we are carrying it to the man. Say carry to the man. When you give it to the man, then you come back to the car.
So the food make you now carry that so you can go convince your friend.
Yeah. When I give it to the man, the man say thank you. I say okay. The man say, where you going now? I say, I'm going right across. So one of my friend call me.
Yeah, the same man going to now.
Yeah, the same man.
And the man say one for you to go steal.
No, yeah. So when I go to the man, he say clean the car. Then they are 2 now.
In the Jeep.
Then they are 2.
A big Jeep.
Yeah.
That wish.
Black DG, photo G.
Yeah.
So when I clean the car now,
Air condition all inside.
no, Papa, you can't wait for me to spin now. I'll leave the whole door now. You can judge people.
I'm just asking you a question, sorry.
You can judge people that can come here.
No, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you talk in the question, let's say when I move from here, I'll free. Let's say when I move from here, I'll free. You said one talk again. I wanted to mean it. Who talk clear to you, boy? Talk in the question. Hi, looking. Then you want post and now more word there again. Why not be looking to the top? I'm not going to again. And said they call me to the office of OSP.
I think you explained to me that you come to get paid. You say you carry the tea to the man. After you carry the tea to the man, and you come now. So what next now?
And for me, I'll not there.
Nobody, you getting very. You say asking you too much question. Hey, there's people things say make your egg and bread. Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
If you
I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
when I give you answer now, then you
Okay. Explain again. I'm not asking you no more question again. Okay, let's go now.
go to school. The English say and many English.
Okay, sorry. Sorry now. Sorry.
See, Ali, you take that. You take
I'm
that.
taking time. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Say I can take that to.
To explain. Okay.
I'm filled with a profound sense of gratitude and humility. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your president and commander-in-chief for the past 6 years. Together in 2018, we embarked on a journey to build a united, peaceful, and prosperous Nigeria. And I am deeply thankful for the trust and support you have bestowed upon me and my administration during my term. As we navigate the complexity of governance, the partnership was instrumental in the development and implementation of policies and programs that aim to bring progress and development to our country. Reflecting on the accomplishment of these 6 years, let me tell you that I am proud of what we have achieved together. We have built roads, supported free wines and free tuition at high schools and public universities, stabilized the macroeconomic challenges we face in 2018, built hundreds of pro housing units, and achieved on so many fronts that we are able to this year today. However, I acknowledge that there is always room for improvement. Perhaps more will have been done under different circumstances. Regrettably, some of the long-term projects we initiated
Oh, yes, indeed. What a beautiful day it is. An exciting way it feels to be right back here behind these microphones on a great Thursday morning from the nation's capital in Monrovia. A pleasant welcome, a good morning, and welcome to the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9. Beaming from the heart of Monrovia, just wherever you are this morning on our voice. We'd like to say a pleasant good morning to all of you, to those of you in the diaspora, our friends and followers, and our ardent follower through the different social media platform and our online radio. The online radio account for a very significant portion of our diaspora followership. And we'd like to do a special recognition for all of you this morning, sacrificing your time, your resources to check back home and know exactly what is happening. That is a huge nationalistic sacrifice. And of course, we recognize all of you. People who feel that you're disconnected from Liberia, but you continue to check back to our online radio. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you and your family, just wherever you are. This is the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9. And of course, this is exactly where we discuss the issues without any fear nor favor. These very critical issues that matter most to Liberia's growth and development. Today is an interesting day, a great opportunity to look back and see whether as a country, the change we made is actually living up to the promises and of course the expectation from a more scholarly, from a more intellectual, from a more issues-based conversation and analysis. You know, the well-being of any given society is determined on the health of the country's economy. And of course, you know, Liberia's economy has been suffering for so long. And most especially when Bouaka took over. His first manager of our economy he appointed seemed lost and gave up in no time and complained about his head. His hair was swinging, the economy was too much, the pressure was too heavy, and the load he could not carry. So Mr. Boyman Kamara resigned. He left. Liberia was hanging, and we needed a messiah. We needed somebody to come in with the understanding, the technical know-how. So our friends from Up Broad Street recommended one of the men we know was part of the 12 years disaster of our country, who's on different investigation report for different acts of financial mismanagement of different funds, whether it's the Japanese grant or all these things that still continue to hover around Mr. Augustine P. Gafuan. But yet, in the wisdom of the president, in Joseph Newman Boakai, he felt the man who has the requisite understanding to restore soundness to the Liberian economy was Augustine P. Gafuan. So the president seconded and requested Gafuan to come home and serve. And Gafuan, excited about it, described himself as the old soldier returning back on the front line, indicative of his understanding of the terrain and the guerrilla strategy requires to navigate the hurdles of Liberia's challenging economy. Since Gafuan came and took over, what does it look like? Has he lived up to his promises or the expectation of many of us? Sometimes it's important we have these very critical conversations and put issues in their right perspectives because we are the biggest radio platform in the morning, and so we are spending sufficient time in X-ray Mr. Gafuan, his policies, his decisions, the legal basis. What are the news about extra budgetary expenditures, balloon or appropriations? And there are too many controversies we're going to juxtapose with the character in Augustine P. Gafuan this morning on the show. Hida and I will be right here. And of course, we're expected to be joined by pundits, panelists, political, and economics. Our dear friend and brother, Marco Francis Starr, a young man, sometimes it's important we give the young folks the opportunity to speak to these critical issues and not the regular faces that you know, and provide some informed opinions on these matters. So yes, it's going to be a roundtable of young Liberian intellectuals. Michael Francis Starr will join from way there in Belgium. And here in the studio, we'll be joined by a campaigner, an activist, and a civil rights advocate in Fode Massacre. A young man that's towering, that's inking his name. And of course, he's going to be joined by Mr. Arvin Wise. And you all know the name Arvin Wise. So, of course, Arvin is going to join us. Arvin will join us. It's going to be a full house. But in the meantime, between time, we'll rumble over some of the happenings in the country. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf made some remarks yesterday at a democracy forum and share her views about the state of Liberia's governance, democracy, and all of that. So we're going to look at that and weigh in on it, plus other issues, as well as the cash giveaway. My name is Abu, and of course, Higa is right here. Higa, good morning. The shipping side of the conversation. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Abu. I'm relatively okay, and my being okay is powered by the gift of life and then the victory of FC Barcelona on last night. So yes,
so Baga struggled to win 1-0.
Baga struggled. Baga received rare card in 22 minutes and came up victorious.
But man, you see rare card before still won. So that rare card be against
a side.
Maybe that's struggling. Yeah, so don't make rare card as soon as extra thing that you have to do.
Rare card is negative. So once you
it's negative, but you're a victim.
Problem that you've dropped player, and especially the player that was given red card is somebody
Lami Yama,
not Lami, Kobazi, who has become
man.
One of the best,
Yama is the man. Back out this season, once Yama plays game, there's certainty that you win. So Yama is the man. So when Yama get card, then we say, oh yeah.
Okay, so whatever the case. I mean, imagine me Chelsea people in my channel
say Cooper seat. What a man, Cooper seat.
So imagine Chelsea me people in our Champions League business.
Mama, let me have Baga. Why am I going to let Baga? You can see more Baga Chelsea than anything.
Yeah, because it's the most followed team.
No, but you not follow more than me.
It's the most loved team. Maybe that we don't.
Not say, oh, I am there
or start very.
You know, Baga is in the bush. So you know, in the bush when you get a mechanic shop there, the iron sand can go. So more.
Good morning, folks. Good morning. This is the Freedom Morning Rise, and of course, we are happy to be back here behind these microphones and doing the Liberian people business. So, yes, like Abu said, we've come here too many things to talk about the economy of our country. Should we say before I listen to Dylan saying the economy of our country is in the septic tank, or is at the verge of falling to the septic tank. So should we say now we are into that? But our economy is struggling under people, self-acclaimed, experienced individuals. So at this point, it is good that we sit to talk about these things. And of course, we have our panelists who are going to be joining us to weigh in on some of these conversations. So yes, we are good when we okay. And the cash giveaway, like Abu said, yesterday we could not give out cash because of what we experienced from NTM yesterday. But today, all you have to do just for $200 Liberian, you dial *799# and then you reply with number. *799 *70# is actually the code. So *799 *70#. And then just for 200, you stand a chance to receive 20,000 or 10,000 right here this morning. So yes, it's up to you. Once you can have 5, we do draw. 5 we do draw. So it's up to you how many times, how many persons can play. Then we can do more draws this morning.
So yes, okay. So yes, whatever you did not win on yesterday, at least for us, we only care about the fact that Freedom Money Rush is the place where you get your beat. So, so yesterday, the system was not too okay. So we told you keep your money. We're coming back tomorrow. So you had no way using the money on different things. All you had to do is to keep the
They are
money.
no way using the money. They deposit money.
So you had no way using that money because the money was designated for the cash giveaway. And this is
and your action to use it without
Yeah.
consent is a disrespect to Abu.
It's ultra viral. Yeah. So basically you have to know how to budget your life. And this is budgeting. When you budget this, you say this one is for the cash giveaway, right? No matter what happens, when you discipline yourself like that, trust me, you know how to save. I know a lot of us can struggle with saving, even myself here, because the country is tight and the demands are huge, but saving is a serious challenge for especially those of us that are still coming up. You don't have to be earning 1,000 before you save, right? You have to discipline yourself to budgeting, right? To say, for example, when you get $10, you put it on. See, the $10, $2 for this, $3 for this, $5 for this.
It's helpful
So
to
make
you
sure everything you put for this must be used for that.
for that purpose.
If you're not disciplined to that, that's how you enter government. When they give you money, say go buy medicine for the hospital, and then you join, see you going to buy a generator because you won't corrupt the money. I seen them Baka put down. But if you put your family money, you say they want for the children's school fee, they want for feeding, they want for transportation, they want for health, right? Then as soon you ready, then you go take the health on the money, you go use that one because nobody's sick yet. No, but people will get sick. So you keep the money there. If nobody's sick yet, then that means you're allowing the health budget to grow so that in case of any emergency, you don't have to be passing around begging people and all of that. Or you just go straight to the family saving, you check for the health allotment, you grab your own so you can face your own family budget so then we'll come to the cash giveaway. For those of us that participate in the game, right? So every time you have small resources, you say, okay, I'm putting a G for the cash giveaway on Abu then show. So on Monday, on Wednesday, unfortunately, because of the system, you did not play. Don't go use that money to go buy Kobo. That money was not meant for Kobo. Keep that money, come back, David, say, okay, this is what I kept the money for. There's a purpose. If you didn't do that, then I want that financial mismanagement. We can charge you for economic. Yeah, so
most application of entrusted property.
Yeah, so folks, that's what it is. But it's your money, though. You can decide. We're just trying to help you out. And
You're right.
So it's *799 *70#. What you missed out yesterday, you could just win it today, and all that. So yes, we are set to give out a lot of money yesterday plus today. That's too much money. So you play, and of course
We give you.
yeah, you play.
So yeah, once you can play, we will give you, and also we'll be doing our frequent draw as well as our loyalty bundle. We'll be doing all of that this morning. And so all that you have to do, we want to give you plenty of money since we did not do it yesterday. So all that you have to do, just for $200 Liberian on your mobile money, you can choose to play 3, 4, 5 times, or depending on what you have. Maybe some will say I want to put 1,000 on my phone, or maybe 2,000 just to challenge the process. So you can put your 2,000 or 1,000 or 500 on your phone, or let's say 600 on your phone, and then you choose to play 3 times if you got 600, or you choose to play maybe 5 times if you got 1,000, and just like that. All you have to do to that *799# on the same number that you got your mobile money on. So you dial *799#, and then you *799*70#, *799*70#, and then once you do like that, you and then the processes you have followed all of them, and yes, you stand a chance right here this morning to win for yourself 20,000 or 10,000 Liberian dollars right here on the cash giveaway. Abu, did you see the court document
Involving
the hearing into the period of information filed by Councillor Kufa and of course the other lawmakers.
Oh, the rule of lawmaker. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
so-
out. I haven't.
Let me
So-
see. I don't know where they that place this. Let me check for that. So,
Just be doing
okay.
that. Let's take.
yeah, we can take Crime Stoppers and we'll come back. We try to read
I
what
think
is on this.
I saw that last
Yes,
stuff.
so
So let's take this
let's take
break
Crime Stoppers.
with our sponsors, and we will be right back. This break.
It's about musical. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take it in your hand for the right authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us. Bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see a you must talk it. I mean you check. You work for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must part to report it. Crime Stopper. The people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper. Stopping crime and make it before them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. On the sector to interior. Crime Stopper. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper. The people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper. Stopping crime and make it before them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. On the sector to interior. Crime Stopper. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, old man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it before them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, on the sector to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it before them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. On the sector to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us.
No boyfriend, no worries.
Do you want the professionals to fix your car? Or you need an original spare parts for your vehicle? Well, worry no more. Macabre Garage and Spare Parts on the bypass opposite Orange Head Office is that place. At Macabre, we provide the following services: mechanical, technical work, computer diagnosis and scanning, key duplication and programming, air conditioning, alarm system, and battle wagon spray. We also sell genuine and generic spare parts for Range Rover, Mercedes-Benz, Suzuki, Chevrolet Tahoe, Nissan and Mazda, and most American cars. The good news is that Macabre has its garage in the Bronx, New York, the USA, where we have a huge stockpile of Ford synthetic mobile oil that is very good for your vehicle. Some of these oils, when used, can service your vehicle by itself for up to 4 to 6 months. We have gas treatment and fuel injector cleaner, original from the USA. We can get you any spare part for your car in Liberia from America in 4 working days, even if we are not the one working on your car. We also order spare parts for other garages in Liberia. We have a tow truck service. Get in touch with us. Just call 0778-324-567, 0778-320-366, or 0778-324-566. Macabre Garage and Spare Parts, Liberia's #1.
National Toiletries Incorporated at Bernard Farm in Pinsville is the name for quality toiletry products and other household needs. Our line of products include Kumba Bendu toilet tissues, Kumba Bendu paper towels, Kumba Bendu napkins, and Kumabindu chloride to give your clothes a brighter shine. Also, get your Kumabindu Clear Essence soap to give your skin that comfortable feel. National Toiletries Incorporated. We also produce a line of quality plastic hardwares and rubber dishes of all kinds and sizes, quality slippers, and many more household items. National Toiletries Incorporated. Our products are available in shop, stores, and supermarkets around town. National Toiletries Incorporated, located at Bernard Farm in Pinsville. We are proud to be associated with the Freedom Morning Rise.
It's about musical. There are crowds in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. Tell it, don't take your law in. Crime Stopper here for us. Bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see a you must talk it. I mean you cheche. You work for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must part of report it. Crime Stopper. The people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper. Stopping crime and make it before them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior. Crime Stopper. Keeping us safe. Let's stopping crime for all of us.
Oh, yes, indeed. Crime Stopper Liberia. Thanks a lot for rejoining us on the Freedom Morning Rise and Freedom 87.9. And folks, yes, so we are back again, contributing our own quota to Liberia's democracy. And of course, ensuring that, yes, all that our forefather have wished for this country is achieved. And good governance is not compromised for anything. And that's why some of you don't understand. I think we get problem. We ain't get, Mr. How you call it, man? They call it, man, Mr. We are making sure. Yeah, Mr. We are making sure you can be Mr. We are making sure you can be assured that
No, not do I mean,
until you complete that show, right? And release the show. So, but this one here is interesting. It's part of our in-house. Basically, two things we're going to look at. And so, let me just say that former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf on yesterday made some very strong criticism of the country's security forces, the legislature, and of course the Supreme Court of Liberia in terms of the way they are proceeding. And she warned that their actions have the propensity to undermine the democracy of our country and, of course, public trust. I think the public trust has already been undermined owing to how the police and other state institutions are being considered now and, of course, being treated by most of our people. So addressing the attendees at the Democracy and Political Accountability Forum on yesterday, hosted by Eddie Jawolo, I'm told Nemot Liberia. I'm told the former president took cue from the recent public dispute among state security agencies, the ones with the AFL and the police, and of course the different ones we've seen between the DEA and the police, and then immigration and police, DEA and DEA, right? Immigration and immigration.
I saw the
immigration and scoreboard. Is it immigration and scoreboard all not joining the flag? Yeah. Then you get police and police from the chicken feed.
Police has become common. It has become like a street fight normally.
Yeah. So from the chicken feed day coming down all the way to the scuffles, the daily scuffles for small thing. All those ones are part of it. And you see the motorcyclists and the police. So the breakdown in public trust for law enforcement agency. The former president frowned on these. and consider them undemocratic and unhealthy for Liberia's democracy. And of course,
I know your information minister will have press conference for.
Okay, let you go ahead. We want to see.
That's what it has become.
Yeah, because they refuse to accept reality. So whenever people say truth, there's something. So let me play the voice so that you hear it. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. So it is not only Abu and Hagar and all of us, the critical, independent journalists in the country, that have decided to expose these things and have made our points clear about what it means for the country's democracy. Right, leaders and other people are also contributing. So let's listen to Mrs. Sirleaf, right, and then we will then make our analysis from there. This one.
If it was wrong yesterday, it had to be similarly wrong now.
Okay, let me see. I don't know what this. Okay.
Today, more than ever, we are on our own. There's no unveil, and there will be no international force in our country to challenge our nation's security if we choose to break our own laws. Now is not the time for members of our national security institution to be engaged in public stuff among themselves that they only serve to undermine public trust and confidence in their own duty to maintain and enforce law and order. Also now is definitely not the time for the Supreme Court to deliver an ambiguous ruling that may take us away from a peaceful resolution of the knowingly disruptive unfolding. This is not the time for legislatures to spend their time figuring and spending the nation reserves in the interest of accumulation of power and reserves. The truth is that there will also be, if you do the right thing, consequences when we act with courage to do the right thing, or we will falter in generation by pretending blindness in the face of an obvious wrong. May I remind that courage is the cornerstone of our nation. It took courage to declare independence.
Okay, so the core issues, you listen to it. She was very clear on the fact that this is not the time for our security forces to be engaged in public scuffle. And of course, it's equally not the time for our judiciary to be giving ambiguous rulings, which I have some fundamental disagreement with her, because I'm not sure if the ruling of the Supreme Court was ambiguous. Mrs. Sirleaf is in a position to understand the languages used, and these are legal terminologies, right? And so, if we do not have the capacity to interpret or understand, fair enough is to seek a bit of information like the Rule of Law Caucus did, or what do? We speak to our lawyers when a situation is deemed ultra-virus. What does it mean? What is the judgment in that? So I think Mrs. Sirleaf is only trying to pacify the reckless and of course undemocratic breakdown that's happening under her former vice president, Mr. Boakai. I think owing to the fact that Mrs. Sirleaf, we are told, have made some recommendations, so she has people in the government, so we can understand the sentiment. But it's important to disagree with our grandma and tell us, grandma, the ruling was not ambiguous. Any which way, one of the justices came out to explain in ABC term what it meant.
And instead of those guys,
but 1 minute, they could not provide political interpretation. All of you were seeking political interpretation. They did not want to get involved with the political happiness. So they wanted to remain a court and not a political tool. That's exactly what the court try very hard to do. So I think the Oma didn't get that. And the legislature, she spoke about the legislature too. And I agree with her because our taxes are being paid without any accountability. You know, there are a lot of things happening. Like we're going to be having conversations around the 2025 budget when we transition to an S-way on Mr. Gafon's return to the Ministry of Finance. You understand that we can have a bunch of people there and they're not doing the basic oversight that serves our interests to make sure that the executive is not misusing or abusing the opportunity she has. Yeah. But this is it. So what do you think about the former president? Sorry.
Abu, I think it is important that people like her come up to speak. Though for me, I think it is belated, some way, somehow. But nevertheless, this is a recommendation, and I hope the government will not be like it has always been, where the information minister, when the recommendations are put forth to the government, then he goes to his platform, making denigrating statement against anyone who will make such recommendation. I hope they can see this as a very patriotic and democratic recommendation. This is no time for public scuffle among police officers and security apparatus. Like Abu named several of them, the police and AFL police and the DEA police, DEA and DEA bosses and all of that, police and immigration, all of those things are not called for in our country. And you listen to what she said, Omer cannot come back in this country. Omer is not here and Omer cannot come back here. So in case of any eventuality, God forbid, who is willing or who is going to, because the police and the security sector is being made to appear like a partisan security sector. So who will Liberian trust? You find people going against the very security apparatus. So it will make it more difficult for our country and devastating for our country. So as a result of that, there are things that need to be done. We cannot have police fighting AFL. These are things that are not called for in public space. So all of these things, you can shy away from these things. And these are, like I said, a patriotic recommendation from the former president. And I hope they will just see it as she has put it. Abu, this country, you will not need a rocket scientist to tell you. Even people within the regime understand that the public has gone against the security sector. The public have lost trust, or the public have lost trust in the security sector. They don't no longer trust security apparatus. That's why you see people are taking issues into their own hands other than engaging security apparatus. You see, look at what happened. Police officers and citizens jumping in to fight. These things only happen when you have a very irresponsible police team or security sector. You can't continue to bring our country's image to public ridicule as it is. So when all of these things are said, it is only good to go back on the drawing board, say, what am I doing that is wrong? How can we work on this? I thought these were reasons for which the president even had the cabinet meeting. Because Mr. President,
and he didn't even
mention that in his speech.
It does not embarrass him that his security people are fighting among themselves, and the president uttered no comment.
Absolutely
insensitive old man, actually. And I believe this is the reason why the former president brought it up. How is it you will be the president? You don't see this as an emergency. We do not have any escrow backing or support from our international partner. And like the old lady said, they're not going to come here again. How did Mr. Weah govern this place and kept the morale of the security forces, and we did not see them fighting each other? But it go to Pagondo town, everything break down. Everybody fighting all over the place, right? So the police and Yana Borden fighting. So what is the problem? The president does not see it as emergency. He's not even talking about it. And it is actually disheartening. And we'd like to commend the former president for flagging it. We hope they will listen and they will take cue. And if they do not, then that means there is a serious problem within the national security sector of the country. Then that means there's a serious issue. And folks, we are getting report that the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police is ill and has left the country. And we've been told that his condition is terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not anything. It's actually serious. We're reaching speedy recovery, but he's not well. Right? And so we will continue to follow these developments. And we're reaching speedy recovery. So it's having several impacts. It's affecting even his eyes.
Wow.
Right now. Yeah, whatever it is, they're keeping it secret, but we know it. So we're telling them it's important. These are public officials.
And
It's
the good
important
thing
to
is,
speak to the public.
the thing about Greg, you can keep information about Greg secret. When Greg is sick and he's in the hospital or he's unable to engage the public because he's one person who so much love with the public. He loves to be in the public space as always, and even on the social media. So one way or the other, people who always following him will know that Greg is not okay.
They say Mano stroke.
Wow.
And then the eye too. Right now, up to yesterday, we're hearing that his eyes are giving him problem. And so he's our brother. He's the head of our security of our police, even though he has not been doing so very well. He has gangster harassed the police force against the people, which is so terrible. Maybe you guys trying to send him a message to serve, and with humility and start being the way he is, because the police is victimizing a lot of people. Other people, children are dying, and so and people are not happy with the way the police is proceeding. We're not saying that is responsible for your illness. We are told you have had pre-existing conditions, and and all of that, but it is happening now, and you have to be rushed to Ghana, right? So I think that update was important for us. So what happened yesterday from the court? And that's one thing, and of course, my man, I bad it you forget about me. I don't know nothing about that one. So and I call it. We saw the speaker. Speaker went to the police yesterday, and as a good citizen, when he left, he came out. He addressed the press briefly, and consider the process as ultra-virus, particularly the different steps that's been taken, according to the police, to investigate, even terming the so-called Bwaka experts that came to validate a Bwaka witch hunt investigation. And these guys, they left the country. My man, Alvin Wisse was clear about what he thinks about them and their present. He said they are all political and professional buccaneers, right? And he did not mince his words. And of course, the speaker shares similar sentiment. The speaker believed that whatever they did not have the authority, and of course, so it makes no sense. So don't be deceived by whatever they did. It was a waste of taxpayers' money again. We'll stay back at square one, because the very beginning of the investigation was tampered with, and that's why we're not getting to any logical conclusion, and we are stuck.
And one issue that the speaker raised is that his appearance at the police headquarters, none of the questions they asked him according to him were relevant, especially in connection to the reason for which he was invited.
Yeah, I mean, political tabula rasa.
So it was actually one thing too that we can look at, because what were some of those questions?
So we just received the video of Gregory Como in Ghana, at the hospital. So I think we will share it so that folks will know that when we say these things, we mean it. we're in a position in Liberia now when we come here behind this microphone, whether you like us or not, we are the custodian of the issues in the country. And so, but the video is here, and you will see him, I think, trying to create an impression. But the fact that we can tell you that he left here under emergency circumstances, and if he has recovered, thank God. But it's important that we inform the people. So yeah, Higa, go ahead. What we try to get the video.
So Abu, we let's see. Should we check the cash giveaway?
Yeah,
stuff?
check the cash giveaway. When you come back, then we can read the
rate from the
court,
So,
and then we take few calls,
yeah.
and prepare to transition to.
So let's see. We can see whether we have something to run us through here this morning. The cash giveaway, we're observing 3 more plays. Then we do our first draw right here. Star 799 hash. Sorry, star 799 star 70 hash. Star 799 star 70 hash will be giving out 20,000. We said things we did not do yesterday because of the internet. Let's say the outage in mobile money service and system having issues as well. We thought we want to do it this morning. And so all that you have to do is to just play the cash giveaway, star 799 star 70 hash. You can choose how many times you want to play. Maybe some will say 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Just maybe $1,000 you can sacrifice, and trust me, you will receive 20,000 or 10,000 depending on how many times you play this morning. So just for $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50, you can be a part of the list of winners right here. So we will wait to see whether we have gotten the 3 persons that we need now. Then we do our draw. So until we can do so, let's read you the communication from the court. And I want to start from the top down to the bottom. And this is it. In the Honorable Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, March term AD 2025, presents Her Honor Siane G. Yor, Chief Justice, Her Honor James Etta H. Wolokoli, Associate Justice, His Honor Yusuf D. Kara, Associate Justice, His Honor Yami Kwekwe Bese Simeon, Associate Justice, Her Honor Siane D. Clinton Johnson, Associate Justice. In reference, Speaker J. Funati Kofa and members of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature. Informants versus Representative Rachel N. Kuhn, purported Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature.
So listening to how they are being addressed, it's important.
We start back. In reference, Speaker J. Funati Kofa and members of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature versus Representative Rachel N. Kuhn, purported Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature. Representative Thomas Fala, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, members of the Self-Star Majority Bloc of the Government of Liberia, represented by the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, respondents. In reference, Republic of Liberia to Brigadier General Amos B. Casey Dixon, Senior Marshal, Supreme Court of Liberia, or his Deputy Manovia. And greetings. You are hereby commanded to notify the respondents in the above entitled course of action to appear and file their returns before the full bench of the Honorable Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, Temple of Justice, on Monday, March 14, 2025, at the hour of 9 a.m. to show cause why the informant's information as prayed for should not be granted. And you are further commanded to instruct the respondents herein to file their official returns to this rate in the office of the clerk of this honorable court on or before the said 14th day of March AD 2025. To read to them the original and leave a copy of the writ with the respondents, and as to when and how you shall have served this writ, you will make known by filing your official returns hereto on the back of the original copy of this writ in the office of the clerk of this honorable court on or before the 14th day of March AD 2025, and for so doing, this shall constitute legal and sufficient authority, giving under my hand and seal of the Honorable Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, this 4th day of March AD 2025. Sam Momolu signs this communication from the Supreme Court.
Okay, so you've listened to it. So the Supreme Court has responded to the bill of information filed by the Rule of Law Caucus. So he got send you Gregory video. Maybe you want to put it up so that our people will be taking watching this. So for those of you, Gregory is sick. He's not in the country, and he has left the country, and so we're getting too many things. But let's wait between now to tomorrow. Just us will lay our hands on something concrete that we can tell you as to what is going on. But this is what it is. In as much as we still wish him a very speedy recovery. So the court says that the court have served and commended the sheriff to notify the respondents in the above entitled case, which is for the case which is the bill of information in relations to the Supreme Court.
This appears to be a hospital.
Yeah, it's a hospital. Yeah, it's a hospital. Is that you are further commended. So they are calling them to go and give reasons, right, for why they believe whatever they believe. Would like to put it, and I believe at the end of that process now, then the court is going to come out, or should be coming out with its interpretation. And these kinds of delays and extensions, and for example, if I send you information, I say, oh, I need to know this one here, your response should be with telling me, and you know what it is. But however the case, this too is Liberia, and so we are where we are. So let's take few calls on these topics.
Abu, let's just recognize our Facebook followers. Then we come back. Maybe we do our frequent players.
Yeah, it's important. But let Gregory video be rolling there. And then while you're watching the video too, then we
can confirm that Gregory is in.
He's out of the country. He left.
Yeah, he's out of the country.
Yeah.
He's in Ghana at a health facility. We will recognize the full information. Nothing will come up. Just us on this. So just give us few.
So please come in.
Somebody's in the back.
Yeah.
Somebody's in the back.
Maki is in the back already.
Yeah. So let's just see that we can do this. So continue to play your cash giveaway. Star 799. Star 70 hash, star 799, star 70 hash. How can I expand this thing? Okay. This is it. Okay. So the man there, you want us to?
No, not playing the sound. It's okay.
There's no sound in fact.
So that is that. Yeah. So we grabbed the video. We got moving and static surveillance on the dude, making sure nobody gonna hide anything in the country. Will provide all of the information to you and tell you exactly what they are. So certain people there you can't on it. So the how one bother really you won't chill it, you won't go, you can get video, put it in, you can get vest. It's a CCTV, only CCTV can get you video. So, but that is that. So let's take a couple of calls. while we wait to transition. So our guys will be here very shortly. And let's see, what do you make of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf comments, and of course the situation yesterday at the police. Of course, the return
Let's
from
talk
the
to this
court.
person. Morning.
Yeah, good morning, Abu Sharian.
Morning,
The nearest rapper political background very much. I'm calling this morning for the community. And let me appreciate you for what you for the analysis of this discussion. As it relates to our security sector is chemical and evidential based, and the security is in serious disagreement. One of Mr. Blocker. The Blocker started to his I seem to make president because a president is a national embarrassment to our country. That is an embarrassment now. There's no single matter investor become invested in a country where police officer will be beaten by AFL, be beaten by police immigration, and the police will be killing people and carrying all no law and order that the legislature is serious disagree. I don't think that this is a country with future. So I'm gonna appreciate Malasha Lee. Malasha Lee saw the embarrassment ever since, and she stopped it. When this identical man who is president, who is the second president now.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay, this is Hagar, and we're calling you from Freedom FM. You play the cash giveaway. You been playing the cash giveaway before?
Yeah.
Check your phone. You receive $1,000. I'm on the radio. You can also play, and you could win 20,000 or 10,000.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. 0776104104 star 799 hash. Reply with number. Sorry, star 799 star 70 hash. They're cool here. I guess used to one. Morning. Good morning.
The person is not ready, but let's just add Michael Francis Starr, one of our guys that's going to be joining us this morning. And so, folks, we are transitioning to the conversation now, the real subject of today's presentation. While we are waiting, the rest of the other folk that will be joining, and of course, Mr. Wisse will also be joining in. So let's take a short break, and then when we come right after that break, we will definitely go into our conversation with our panelists here this morning. And this is the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9. And so this break, we will be right back. Okay, so let's bring this one down. Murray County with Yeke, making it on the Freedom Money Rise on Freedom. It is 7.9. And yes, indeed, we are transitioning to a more governance-based economic and, of course, leadership conversation around the fiscal management and economic health of our country since the return of one of Liberia's celebrated sons in many quarters. But what has all of the accolades and celebration meant since he returned to Liberia's fiscal management in the face of very extreme hardship, poverty, and of course economic quagmire. So to talk about this, we've selected a few young Liberian intellectual to join us here this morning, and of course we've already got Mr. Marco Francis Starr, who's joining in from way there in Brussels, and of course Brother Arvin Wisse is going to join us here as well, and Fode Famula will be joining subsequently. So yes, let's begin. Fode Massacre, sorry. Now the reaction there for the family. Fode Massacre. So, Brother Ta, good morning. How are you this morning?
Dear Mr. Sharif, it's a good thing being here this morning, and good morning to our brother Isa over there. And good morning to those in radio land. It's a good thing always being on the radio to share thoughts on the issue bordering on the growth and development of our country. I do have some appointment coming up. Yeah, kind of been. I didn't want to really hang around for this, but this is the first time I'm officially being invited up here. So I just had to squeeze in some time. But it's my pleasure being here this morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay, you can see the hero all in the Memphis, my man. Yeah. So the tough talking, fiery, Mr. Arvin Wisse. Good morning, my brother. Welcome again. Let me get you on the speaker. Okay.
Yeah, good morning, my dear brothers, who I have joined on this fascinating conversation. And let me say good morning to you as well, Abu, and the listening audience. I'm glad to be one of the participants on the show this morning.
Fair enough. So this is it, and it's good to have all of you accept our invitation to be here and join us this morning. So basically, our country has been in a very difficult situation. Somebody would say precarious economic reality. And we have been yearning, and the government, the president himself has been looking out for solutions. And the man who landed was our own dear big brother and friend, Augustin P. Gaffouin. And so he has had the opportunity to reset the agenda for the president, particularly for the ensuing 2025 budget year. And so we all have the budget with us, the decisions that were made, the considerations and all that. But on a general note, and what do we make of the state of our economy, understanding since Mr. Gaff returned? Just you can take two minutes, part of your intro on the subject, and then we'll go into the specifics after here. So let's begin with Arvin.
Yeah, so I'm driving. Let me find where to park. Hello?
Okay, so you want a marker to begin while you found somewhere at you, right?
Yeah. Let me.
Okay, Marco, let's hear you.
So the best bet on
so let me find me to park.
Okay, so Marco, let's hear you.
So the best bet on the state of the economy is the evaluation of the common people. What are the common people saying? The things that they are feeling. The last time I saw a survey being carried out by Spoon TV in various places like in Raylet Market, in Douala, the Waterside, on the streets of Monrovia. What was the thoughts of the people? What were they saying concerning the economy? all the economic experts will come out and they talk about GDP, they talk about inflation, they talk about growth, they talk about all of that. If these things are not trickled down to the people to feel the impact, all the analysis we are doing will be just as good as nothing. So the common people themselves have graded the state of the economy. They have told us through some of the interviews we've witnessed over the period of time that things are definitely tough. Like before, when it was very easy for goods to go on the market, it's not going like before. They barely have customers coming to them like before. They barely even have money to even buy some of the things they used to buy before, because the economy has gone into a complete deep mess. So it is not from me, or it is not from Arvin, or it is not from all the other experts that will come from other background that will just draw a conclusion, the impact of the common people in the communities. What are the common people saying in the communities? What are the people saying in your backyard when you ask your man that used to go to maybe drop me small thing, or you that used to drop some man small thing? How is it flowing now? Even outside of government, there are some people that were never working in government, but they were still.
Are you measuring the health of the economy by small thing?
You said?
Are you measuring the health and status of the economy by this whole quote unquote small thing? Is that what?
Not just the small thing, I'm talking about the trickle down effect. What are the people themselves saying? We could come with all our analysis as we want.
The trickle down may come later, but we are looking at the smarted in the policies adapted.
You said?
We're looking at the smartness in the policy adapted to addressing.
We have a lot of time to talk about the issue of the policy. We have a lot of time to talk about, the budget and all of those. You are talking about the impact of the economy. How do we evaluate the economy? I'm saying for me, like I know we from the other side, we have our own critical mind on how the economy is flowing by virtue of quoting numbers, doing comparative analysis with the number, what it was during our time, what it is now, how we can try to score some point by virtue of what we did. But I'm saying currently, all of these things will come at some point. But now, if we're evaluating the economy concerning health, like you said, at the various health facilities, do the people have drugs in abundance? Are the various marketplaces, are businesses going as usual? What are the common people saying? That's just my thought on the thing. I don't know what you are getting from that point. I know we'll be questioned concerning some major issues concerning, all the policy related conversation. But now, what are the common people saying? The best evaluation of the economy can be based on what the common people are seeing, what the common people are experiencing, what the common people are saying at this point in time.
Okay, Michael believe that if we must measure the state of the economy, we have to be concerned with the reflection in the life of the people. What do you think, judging by what is happening around us?
Well, thank you ever so much, my brother Abu. Let me say good morning or evening or afternoon to brother Michael. So,
good morning, Chief.
The economy from a broader perspective in terms of what the truest meaning of the economy is about people having income and and addressing the issues of the bread and butter issues in the country. That's the simplest way we can put it. Income potential of the masses of the people vis-a-vis addressing the bread and butter issues in the country. So when you talk about the economy, you talk about different indicators and how the indicators are functioning for the better good in terms of livelihood. So people look at different components, different indicators that people can measure to determine whether there is an economic development, whether there's economic growth, and whether there's economic stability. So we talk about, for example, we look at the income, and that can be measured through the GDP and what we call the per capita income. Well, GDP has to do with the total goods and services, per annual. And when you divide the GDP, which is the total, amount that you have. If you divide that, you have the per capita income. Per capita is the one that each Liberian citizen you have when you do the division of the GDP. The per capita income is what you get as an income. For example, if the GDP of Liberia is 2 point some billion or 3 point some billion, and you divide it by the total population of the country.
Mm-hmm.
That
then you derive the per capita income.
Yeah,
that determines greatly your purchasing power.
That percentage income is what we call the per capita, which is determined by your purchasing power. The purchasing power parity.
Mm.
Now, these are some of the indicators if you want to talk about how the economy is transforming the condition of the people. And not everybody you look at the issue about life expectancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if the economy is good, the condition of the citizens will improve and their life expectancy. So you find more people living longer because they have jobs, because they have good health care facilities, because they've been given the requisite social enabling environment to exist, and so they live long. The next thing you look at, you talk about, household issues, basic necessities, right? People look at basic necessities in terms of the household economic. We want to look at issues about how many people can afford electricity, for example, how many people have access to quality safe drinking water, for example, how many people have access to for example, how many talking about the employment ratio in the country. So how many Liberians are being employed and how many of those have been lifted out of poverty in terms of the employment bracket. So those are indicators you look at. You also look at the issues about inflation.
Mm-hmm.
Inflation, yeah. The inflation that has to do with the price. The inflation. The increase in the prices of essential goods and commodities in the country. What was the inflation back then, and what is the inflation now?
Mm.
And how does inflation impact the living condition through price and other stuff and things? So those are analysis we'll be juxtaposing and making this clear. Position to see whether we have made progress under this administration, and not to just come and speak the regular politics. Because if the prices of essential commodities do not commensurate with the income of the people, because it creates a poverty, it creates hunger, it creates joblessness, it creates unemployment as well. Because people cannot afford, people will not be able to buy, and if the economy is tough, then the citizens are poor and they are debt poor. So we want to make our analysis on these things and see whether there has been significant transformation and improvement in the economy. You're looking at the rescue mission, RS Mantra. 1 year now since he has come to the national governance infrastructure of the country.
Okay.
So so from the overall, I think we can also look at education. We can also look at agriculture. We can also look at the health sector, way in the mining sector, and see. But our concentration will be fundamentally on the area that has to do with the bread and butter issues. That will be our concentration, because we're concerned. We can talk the numbers, we can talk with the statistics, but if the numbers do not reflect on the living standard of the people, then it's a problem. It's a serious problem.
Oh, okay. So let's go into some of what basically that can speak directly to the core issues. I like to call them the core issues, which is the living condition of our people, the impact in the education of our people, the healthcare, and the rural infrastructure, and the general state of the Liberian economy. So let's take directly from what the government herself, Minister Gafuan, and of course the economic management team of the Joseph Boakai rescue government put together. And in fact, they are projecting that the Liberian economy is projected to grow by 5.8% in 2025. This is 2025. That was or is the projection, and 0.7% point upgrade on the earlier forecast for 2024, and 5.9% on average over the medium term 2025 to 2027, on account of strong activities in mining, investment in infrastructure, agriculture, and manufacturing, with support from development partners, and more vibrant economic activities fueled by improved electricity supply. That is what the government said in her budget preface. So I'd like to hear from all of you on your thoughts about that. The government is bragging that these improvements in the projected what you might call the projected state of the Liberian economy is credit to the improvement in the electricity sector of the country, or the electricity supply that they have provided. Maki.
I don't know whether that number is accurate, and I won't pretend to say I'm discussing any deep economic issue here, but I want us to talk at a level that the people will be able to understand it. So the first thing we need to understand is that the budget in question, we all know it has been discussed from time to time that the budget is an illegal budget. We need to underscore that. The Supreme Court honored the bit of information of the speaker just recently, and you saw the return from the Supreme Court. It addressed the speaker as Speaker Funanti Kofa. It addressed the majority bloc speaker as the purported speaker of the House of Representatives. So if the budget was signed by a purported speaker, you know for a fact that it is an illegal instrument already. That has to be underscored. So the budget we discuss in question, another thing that has to be underscored about the budget is the issue of fiscal transparency. Let me tell you something. The American government Treasury pays attention to the fiscal transparency aspect of the budget. When the budget is signed, the same day or the next day or the very week, the budget should be up. The budget was signed on the 6th of January. The budget was published on the 20th of February, almost 2 months in a 2-month gap in between there. If the budget was that delayed, what happens there? There are a lot of manipulations that went on there. So if the Liberian budget, according to the PFM law, I don't even want to be going these laws in the first. I just want to have the conversation at the pace.
No, but it's important we talk about the laws, because you're questioning the legality of the budget.
Falls flat on the issue of transparency if it is being evaluated. By virtue of it being signed on January 6th, and it was published on February 20th, almost 2 months gap. What were they doing with the budget? Rachel Kuhn says something in his recording that was passing around just recently that will inform us what they were doing. When you check the recording technically, you see that Rachel Kuhn said after the budget has been passed, when the budget went through the lower house, when it went through the upper house, when it was concurred, then between the upper house to the executive, there are a whole lot of realignments that happen after the budget has been approved. So
was he referring to the 2024 budget or the 2025?
I'm talking, he spoke about the 2024, he spoke about the 2024 budget, but we have an insight in what happened in the gap period. If the budget is signed, what next should be done? According to the open transparency law, the budget should be up. So the first thing is that the budget is an illegal instrument. It was signed. The budget is a law. Law should go in conformity with the Constitution. Then the budget was signed by someone who is purporting to be a speaker, who is not a speaker, so the budget is an illegal instrument. It has to be. The Supreme Court of Liberia has acknowledged that. The ECOWAS, the West African community, or the regional authority that conducts political activities and economic activity, they just told you they rejected those people that were sent by the so-called purported speaker because they question his legitimacy. So the
the leaders in the country now sign and they are working with the budget. The finance minister signed. The president.
That's the hypocrisy. That's the hypocrisy we are talking about. So if these people are so hypocritical, the man that is actually forcing an illegal speaker on us cannot be the man that will be discussing transparency to us. The man that kept the budget that was signed for 2 months, changing numbers, cooking numbers, cannot be the man that will be telling us about audit. Why are they telling us? Why are they projecting? So it's a critical thing. When you come down, let me tell you something. There are a lot of things we can point out in the budget. Just recently, you heard the finance minister. I do know he's appearing on the radio today, and one of the things that he will emphasize will be the issue of the cut-in aid. There are a few points I'm making. I hope I'm not jumping from point to point, but I'm just making some of these critical points before, and maybe as we go on, as you are questioning, we'll be bringing it up. He will focus on the issue of cut-in aid. And you heard, I think you talked about it the other day, instead of him as a minister with the gap that the budget spent within, because Trump started announcing some of these cuts when the budget was still not published. Why didn't they hold the budget to do all the adjustment before publishing it according to the other?
But it's not late. They could still go for recast.
They could still go for recast, but he didn't do it. What they did was that he started projecting. Let me tell you, the 51 million in question that they are talking about, it is not an annual 51 million. It is over a period of 4 years, 5 years period. So
wait. Let's get that part clear. Now that you have gone to the 8th court, it's important, but let's get this one clear. The government has complained. The Minister of Finance announced that the effect of the U.S. aid cancellation and suspension amounts to around 51 million. Are you saying that 51 million is not coming out of this 2025 budget?
That 51 million, the first thing, the aid money doesn't come directly to the government. The aid support is an indirect support. The government, the user government themselves implement the budget. Projects is not part of the direct budget. It has to be.
Okay, so that is different from direct budgetary support.
Yeah, but they are discussing the impact. So there was some budget support. Sometimes they do some budget support to some of these entities like NEC, like LDC, and all of that. But the 51 million they are discussing, the first thing you need to understand about the 51 million is that the 51 million is not an annual money. It is a project.
Okay, Marco, let me hold you there. Let's
projects happen over the period of 4-5 years. So if the 51 million is for 5 years, you are getting me?
Okay.
If the 51 million is for 5 years, when we are analyzing aid, 30% of the actual aid money is the one that comes in the economy. So if you calculate 30% of that 51 million and you divide by a year, you will get to know per year the government will just have to fill in a gap of 3 or 4 million per year in the budget to cover all those spaces. But the government ever tell you that he was doing any kind of thing to cover all the space? Has he ever discussed waste management? You know, Africa problem, most of the countries in Africa, we have all the money to do, but we use most of these money for entertainment, we use this money for different things, and we depend on partners, we depend on donors, we depend on aid to develop our country. That's the point. So if you had a finance minister that is smart enough, that is, you know, the way he's actually referenced by more people, he's considered to be a scholar, he's considered to be an economic guru. I think the conversation we'll be having now will not be about telling everybody to go on their knees and fast and pray. It will be about
fair enough, Marco.
Wasting government. How do we do some of the things? So when we are talking about
Marco, we'll come to these ones now, Marco. Let me hold you there. A lot of points covered. So, Mr. Wisse, Marco's initial submission is that the entire instrument that we're having conversation about is illegal, owing to the fact that the authorities, particularly from the legislature that signed on the budget, has been described by the Supreme Court as a purported speaker. To what end do you think that affect the budget?
The way Mr. Kuva has hijacked leadership.
Mr. Kuhn, you mean?
I mean, sorry, Mr. Kuhn, Rachel Kuhn has hijacked leadership very illegally. Everyone knows in the country that he's not the legitimate speaker of the country. Everybody knows that he does not command the legitimacy over the legislature. Sorry, people keep calling me, so there's a disruption. Hello?
Yeah, we're getting you, but you're good. Okay, so so we're using the internet to get on. So Marco,
yes. So when the aid passed, so it has to be understood that the aid, the 51 million he's projecting, is not an annual money. It's a project-based money that is over a period, and the actual amount of that money that enters the Liberian economy, it should be around 30%. So if you divide that 30% per annual, you get to know 4-5. If you do a comparative analysis, you know that the CDC government experienced far worse than what they are experiencing. That's one point.
Okay, so we have Avin back. Avin said we'll have to bear with him. He continued to receive calls, but Avin, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, people keep calling me. You know, yesterday I used words like tabula rasa, Yes, too. It's a national debate competition. Everybody calling me. Yeah, everybody.
Political tabula rasa.
Yeah, political tabula rasa and Bugani. I think so. You have gone viral and trending. Everybody calling me. So,
But they may not used to listen to you on Fender campus, so it screams to them.
Yeah, it screams to them. So, like I was saying, the purported speaker is presiding over an illegitimate ballot that is masquerading as so-called majority black, and the budget, as far as we're concerned, is an illegal instrument in the possession of the regime speaker, and that's the reason why. But I mean, Marco fair with that. But what I want to look at from the perspective of the budget, in terms of whether it reflects social economic development, when you ask the question about there is a projected growth of 5.9%, and whether that growth is realistic in terms of, I mean, real economic realities on ground. For me, I want to say that it is unrealistic. I mean, it is unrealistic.
Okay.
For one fundamental reason, Abu, in elementary economics, there's a big difference between economic growth, and economic development. You can have economic growth, but you cannot experience economic development. That's why historically, Liberia, you realize.
Yeah, so but the projection is indicating economic growth.
Yeah, it was here, but not economic development. I mean, historically, Liberia, our economic growth, our GDP was almost around Japan's GDP, but there was no economic growth. So we experienced economic growth without economic development.
So you agree that the regime has grown the economy?
No, there will always be projection. Projections are not realistic. They said there's projection. They are projecting. It's not something that is here. There's a difference between projecting and providing the economic condition and reality on the ground. It is not the same as projecting. When you project something, you anticipate something. So it doesn't affect the condition, the living condition on the Liberian population, Now, if you look at the illegal budget, for the sake of the conversation and for the sake of the discourse, if the budget has two major components. First of all, you talk about it. I mean, the total budget, you got 880 million, right? The 880 million, I mean, you got two components I want to deal with quickly. And you see that there's a complete debt service to the Liberian people in terms of, and the government is not serious to making structural economic changes, development, and transformation economically across the country. Now, the two components of the budget, you talk about the recurring expenditure, and you also talk about the public sector investment side.
PSRP.
Now, if you look at the recurring expenditure side, we don't know recurring expenditure for those of you who are following, who are listening across the country. We're talking about salaries, goods and services of the government. So the whole budget, 89% of that budget goes to what recurring expenditure. That is to say, it goes to what on the salary and goods and services. To I mean the administrative component of the government. That is to run the affairs, the day-to-day activities of the government. So the government is telling us that the budget is not going to affect tremendous efforts in the private sector development. The government is not going to affect public sector investment.
And why should anybody worry? Why should anybody worry about that?
I mean, because let me tell you, state enterprises must not only sit and receive allotment from government. State enterprises must be able to move towards planning, must gear towards productivity, and check on results that benefit the masses of the people. You cannot craft a budget, sign your budget that is already illegal. Then most of what's supposed to improve the lives of the people is going towards salary, is going back to the very budget, is going towards the very running of the institution. And you got to realize that not everyone will be part of the government employment in terms of the government bureaucracy. Not every all people got to survive in the private sector.
Okay, so let me ask you those. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, talking about the before you go to the arrest, I want to ask you, talking about the expenditure and the PSRP. Does the number inspire hope for the masses out there? And, the different numbers. Does it inspire hope? Can Liberians consider these numbers as a reflection of a rescue agenda?
No, I mean is not inspiring at all. It's not inspiring. I mean, he have shown complete lack of. I mean, it's a disservice to the Liberian people because when you talk about improving the economy, you make intervention on major indicators that improve the economic condition. For example, you invest into road development. You look at agricultural intervention. You look at education. You look at the health sector. Those are areas that you target investment, and your investment agenda must gear towards these things to improving the condition of the people. I mean, the government said, I mean, the projection is contingent on electricity. Abu, you in this country, to say that the 4.5 growth in the economy will be on the mining sector, the extractive industry, and electricity. Let's look at electricity output in the country. How constant is the electricity in Liberia across the country? And Monrovia being an industrial zone, the economic zone, the commercial capital, or the political capital, in Liberia. Look at the statistics of political division. You talk about electricity. How because electricity is start of economic growth. People use electricity to do business. I mean, people get into agriculture business. People can do water. I mean, electricity cover the whole lot of the economy. So if you say your revenue generation is focused on the process that will come from electricity and the mining sector, then you will ask yourself, how consistent is your electricity in Liberia that is going to give you the requisite economic growth that you're talking about? So that is voodoo economy. That is economic voodooism.
Is it not attainable for you?
No, it's not. The first electricity output is not sustainable. That's always been inconsistent and unsustainable electricity across the country.
Okay.
Does not have sustainable electricity. So to say that you are going to develop the country and your growth is coming from electricity, then it's unfortunate. The mining sector is undergoing serious pressure. It's eating up. You got to diversify the economy. You got to talk about agriculture. I mean, a comparative advantage. Look at other areas that can be able to generate revenue and sponsor somebody.
But Mr. Gaffan knows this more than you, and they have made a decision, and you're questioning that. So why do you think Gaffan will be making decision, understanding all of the variables and the factors?
So for Gaffan has already been halved. He has lost the economic trajectory in the improvement. The first thing that the government give, they have in our budget, they did not tell all our civil servant salary has been increased, has been taken from one point to another. They have not told us how many jobs are created in the private sector or how many jobs they will create. This budget, that when we pass this budget and we implement this from the period of January 1st to December 31st, these are the jobs we will create in the private sector, and here are the investments we have. That budget does not speak to tangibles, economic reality in the country. So it's a miscarriage of economic projection. It is a voodoo economic paper that is only written in theory. It has no connection. It has no commensuration with the actual conditions of the people who were in Lokintan, in Nimakante, in Butuo, in Pliwo Southern District. They're talking about roads, they're talking about food, they're talking about agriculture, they're talking about health, they're talking about electricity, and they're talking about basic social necessity. So the budget must reflect the condition of the people and not to just be mere economic theory to bamboozle people around this place.
Okay.
You cannot intellectualize poverty, Abu. Nobody intellectualizes poverty.
Okay,
so
thank you. So if you're just joining us, this is the Freedom Money Rise, and of course we are very privileged to have Mr. Alvin Wisse, Mr. Marco Francis Starr, and of course our dear brother Fode Massaquoi has just joined in. So we'll use this moment to bring on Fode. Good morning. Understand you have some hitches along the line, but it's good to have you join us.
Thank you, Abu. Let me extend warmest greetings to our people in Radio Land and also to the Erida panelists on the phone. You know, this is how embarrassing this motorcycle issue is, Abu. I was stopped at around Waterside.
Okay.
I had to walk from Waterside here because you cannot find motorbike. So when you look at the issue of our country, there are some basic small things that people overlook, but these things are very much essential. So on the money I could have paid on water side here, somebody losing that in the economy. So the motorcyclists are also involved into the budget. But you see, the budget is kind of holistic. And with the prayer bank economist, Augustine Gaffon.
Why do you call him prayer bank economist?
Because this is a man who, in terms of national economic crisis, you should be providing economical solutions to the people's problem. Unfortunately, this man started to postulate to suggest to us that we should call the imams, we should call the chiefs, we should call the those to pray. No, you do not work like that. If you might find solvable solutions to people's problem, it needs to be in the budget. So Augustine Gaffon took over, let's say he was appointed on August 1, 2024. In a hurry, a quick serial confirmation. He took over the ministry on September 17, 2024. For example, we are mercy to know that this man has been one of the best and finest in their generation. But he's not. The man is not even a school or career economist. Augustine Gaffon is a mere accountant.
Okay.
He has never mastered economics in his life. But that's not the subject. The subject is what have been the dividends and the proceeds of his economical decisions. So, when you look at the budget today, Abu, let me say this in a very clear and unambiguous tone. We do not have a budget. The current budget is an illegal instrument. It's an illegal instrument.
All of you, even the gentleman before you said that, and I agree with him that it's illegal.
Because it's very much important.
But it's being used to run our country.
No. You see, Abu, when people try to accept doing the wrong thing over and over, they tell you that we should not be having a country. Abu, in 2024, the budget was at 738 million. In the same 2024, we had a 35 million budget shortfall. If we are mercy to know that in 2025, Augustine Gaffon, the prayer bank economist, have increased the budget to 880 million. Mind you had a depreciation that couldn't reach of the shortfall of 35 million in 2024. You should learn from there.
No, but that was 2024. You look,
No.
Do you see the number for the 2025 projection? 5.9.
Abu, that is the reality.
Different screens, revenue screens have been identified.
Those projections are not possible based on the depreciation in the official development assistance. What is in the budget as ODA? Over 381.78 million to foreign aids and grants will not be coming. You see, the budget has been used as a cash cow.
No, we are sure about the foreign aids, but the grants, we can say that the grants will not come.
No.
There are several areas that grants come from.
Yeah. If grants will come, it will not be at a pace that you expect it to come in the absence of foreign aid.
Okay.
So, if we are missing to know that when you increase the budget from 800, let's say from 738 million to 880 million, that is a 19.1 increment. Now you get a core. And out of the 880 million, 87, it was mentioned to know Abu, 87.1% goes to recurrent expenditure on fat salary, on DSA, on travel. Abu, we do not have a budget. We have a cash cow where people just go take salaries.
But how are you making it as if this is a Gaffon creation?
So you see, why they say it is a Gaffon, what I believe that this is a Gaffon creation because Gaffon is the finance minister.
Okay.
On our law, it is the finance minister that apportion, that approve, that sign and distribute our national cake. Instead of Gaffon and the United Party region focusing on the essence of revenue generation, Abu, guess what? The budget will have a shortfall not less than 50 million this year. Save this on the dog. Guess what?
As I speak to you now, majority of the revenue being generated by our country, it comes.
That is your view, not facts.
It's not my view. It's fact. Here is the fact. Majority of our revenue is being generated in this country. It comes from concession areas. Do you know that Asili Minta is currently having a serious struggle and with HPX? If everything goes well, Asili Minta might likely shut down.
Asili Minta is seeking renewal or extension of our MDA, and you're talking about shutting down.
And the government is also favoring HPX. Abu, we on the front page newspaper. We on the front page newspaper. These things are real. So my brother,
how does all of that affect the general health and welfare of the Liberian economy?
So, if you have 5 offices in the country, the president office, as a matter of fact, for example, the finance ministry, you can see the budget should be for the people. So one of the ways you can utilize and the importance of people being benefited from the budget is by placing money into sector that will produce and bring more money. The current budget violated the table mountain accord that I brought the sanitary to that says from every budget, Abu, there should be a 15% allocation towards agriculture. In this budget, we have less than 87% of money going towards agriculture. So let's go to the industrial sector. Abu, the budget will not benefit the people because you have only 5 offices: the president office, the Senate Pro Tem, and the Speaker. These people alone make almost 11.8 million of the budget.
But Mr. Gaffar is sitting somewhere and he's telling the Liberian people that they can be assured that their lives will be changed through this budget.
You see, somebody say you cannot intellectualize politics unless you're poverty. When the people are hungry and suffering, you do not tell them such a word or a statement that make no sense to them. Abu, let us look at job creation in the country. How will the 2025 budget create job for our people? How?
Okay.
So when I look at on the part of the budget, because see, the budget sector, it focuses on 11 different components. And we have the public administration sectors, and we have the transport sector, we have the security and rule of law, and we have health. Of all of this, my brother, of all of this, it makes you to know that the only particular important component in this budget is the public administration sector. Bulk of the money, 87.1%, is focused on salaries, on dues, and that. Abu, how many of the people in Nukuta, in West Point, are assistant ministers? So if you put bulk of the money on salary, it means when you're not working in the country, all of the civil servants in the country, and they are not even 400,000. And you have a population of 5.7 million people. So this budget means that the budget is not for the Liberian people, it's for civil servants to get salary and go home. That's what the budget is saying. It is 7.1%.
Okay, fair enough. Fode, let me hold you there. Marco Ta, that's our brother Fode. And for him, he sees the budget as something that's developed only for the bureaucrats and not the ordinary masses. In the true essence of running a country, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I salute Foley this morning. He's a brilliant young man. He has been doing well with his advocacy against waste and other things in government. And I'm sharing platform with the Erie that having we said to, I acknowledged him earlier. These are some of the best men the coalition has, and it's a good thing being here this morning. Again, sharing platform with them. But you see, I'm opportune to be one of the young people that was around the corridor of D12. So I have some extent of insight when it comes to standing intellectuals. I have a language that I want to use to communicate some of the figures in the budget. But when I'm on the radio, I'm very keen and critical that the audience I'm actually communicating to their mixed audience. So I want to discuss this particular from my angle. I can't sense how the other people are discussing, but from my angle, I just want to point out a few things. So I've been talking about something about PSRP, the public sector investment plan. Okay, I want us to look at the public sector investment plan because there are some things.
That is the money that goes to the people.
Yeah. So the public sector investment plan is the actual money that goes into real capital development, that you can see. But Abu, I just sent you the fact sheet of the 2025 budget. So the fact sheet, open the fact sheet and go way down to the last page of the fact sheet. For us to see the PSRP, let the people understand what the PSRP is. So the public sector investment plan, we think, how are they expending the so-called 12.1%? So just open it and just the last sheet of the fact sheet, because the best way to understand the budget is to always go to the fact sheet of the budget, because many people, maybe most of our people who are listening, you don't have the capacity to read through the 300 pages, the 400 pages. So on the fact sheet give you some real little understanding about the budget. So let's go to the last page of the fact sheet. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm opening it now.
You see the fact sheet on a public administration, on accountability, on health and everything. So
on page 8, right?
Yeah. So page 8, the last page, you see
renovation of the executive
investment. PSRP, the renovation of the executive marshal alone is taking $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
So check there. You see the numbers are there. Renovation.
Yeah. So I'm there already. Let me see. This is what we have.
That's
it says renovation of the executive mansion. I'll come in. Michael, just hold. Let me just read it. So the total sum for public administration is around $6,535,000, and the breakdown: renovation of the executive mansion, $1 million. So the Boakai government has placed $1 million for the renovation of the executive mansion, and the renovation and rehabilitation, $250,000, right? And then construction of National Conference Center.
Push campaign $1 million off for push campaign this year on a DA. So I don't know what they can go through all of that, but I just want us to have what serious thing this particular PSRP is even addressing. All the PSRP we are advocating for, we thought we want to really see real infrastructural development, major investment. That the way President we are building hospitals, you were building roads, you were building. How much of that money the PSRP? Yeah, they will put some money on a Ministry of Transport.
Yeah, but there is the infrastructure. There is the infrastructure and basic services here, and they have road. Yeah, road financing. The government placed $37,615 $15. No. It's 37 million. Sorry, 37,615,451 for road financing. That is what the government put for 2025. 37 million, right? And then for it says CPF and to Lugatuo, that is the Sekimpa to Lugatuo road. Yeah, to Lugatuo road, they put 543,000. Banga Salaye road, that is the road to Lufa corridor, right? Salaye, they put 1,227,000. Tapita to Toastan road corridor, 1,500,000. ECOWAS Bank for Development and blah blah blah. Say Barclayville, Clooney to Sastan, 670,000. You have Ministerial Complex Bypass. That is the Allison Street, 172,000. You have the Resettlement Action Plan, the RAP for the Gabriel Togger Bridge to Freeport Road, National Road Fund, $89,000. That's for the RAP. Labor-based Public Works PR, 868,000. And you have the Southeast Corridor Road Access Management Project.
So Abu, you could take a lot of time to read, but the push must go campaign at 1 million or 2. So
yeah.
this is the PSRP we are discussing. Where are the actual monies going? So out of the entire 800 plus million, they took out 1.2 million and they dropping it like nothing. And you know, they put in 1 million in Kush, they put in 1 million in executive mansion, they put in 200. Some of that money, let me tell you something. Do you know that almost 50% of ministries and agencies they didn't get? Let me tell you. I got something here. The ministry agency got less than 50% of the appropriation on goods and services. I'm not saying they're compensation, but most of the monies that were appropriated in the budget last year for goods and services, most of these ministries they didn't get it. I'm saying this to say some of these PSRP that we are even seeing, these monies as low as they are, they will still not be implemented properly. So this 2025, don't expect any major thing. You should also know this thing that there was about 13 million of budget spending that happened last year, 2024. So the PSRP is there. You can see it. So after the PSRP, you have the whole time to run through. That's the whole analysis of the 2025 budget. Right there, the budget fact sheet. Sometimes you can do the comparative analysis of the budget itself to go there and compare the alternate or some other. But if, I'm talking about alternate because I haven't talked about something like you talk about compensation. Because when you talk about recurring expenditure, it has to do with it has to do with salary, goods and services, and all of that. So let's come to the compensation component, which is very important. These people that are talking about transparency, we established first that the budget is illegal, and the two, all the panelists along with me, they are also concord. And yeah. So where was I?
Yeah, you're talking about the budget being illegal, and you're going to the goods and services component, and then would
yeah. So the compensation part.
I just share with you for the PSRP.
I'm talking about the issue of transparency, right? When you look at the number of 2024 approved budget initially.
No, but Michael, you raised an issue about the budget expenditure, right? And also the variance in the allotment that was made for salary in the 2024, and what the alternate shows for what the government spent on compensation. When we know very well the CSA said they cut people from payroll, they remove goals, but the money increased. In fact, instead of decreasing, the money increased.
The money increased. The alternate. So the CSA, according to the CSA, every month they were saving 2.4 million. So if the CSA was saving 2.4 million per month, we assume, that the CSA may have started a particular reform in the middle of the year.
Okay, we are losing you, Marco. So just make adjustment. Marco, we are losing you. So just make adjustment. And so let's have Avin. Avin, what do you make about this conversation around the expenditure of the PSRP? Your line is glitching. We're having some technical issues. So while you adjust, let's just have Avin weigh in on this subject, and then
can I leave and come back?
Yeah, we'll come back to you. Yeah, Avin.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Avin.
Yeah, sorry again. I have to adjust myself in my vehicle. Like I told you, I was on my way to studio, and I have some challenges on the road. Yeah, so when it comes to the public sector investment, like I said to you, Abu, that the whole budget, there are two major focal points that you have to look at carefully to know whether the government means business, whether the government is serious, or whether the government is up for play. And I pointed out the public sector investment plan with the PSRP. Now, the public sector investment plan is where government takes practical development to the people by making budgetary allotment through what I refer to as direct intervention. So if you look at the different, we don't have the luxury of time. But I mean, the whole budget, if you look at the entire budget, 89% of the 880 billion under this administration is allotted to salary. That means to say that you have nothing left for development. You have nothing left for development. So Liberians will continue to wallow in poverty. That will be. They tell you that nobody the roads will not be affected. They tell you that health sector will not be improved. They tell you that electricity sustainability Apple is a mirage. It tells you that agriculture is a complete joke. I mean, so the whole idea of the public sector investment is to engage into capital development, real development. So when government makes appropriation, they look at if the government makes appropriation, you analyze how serious the government is. So the allotment over there, I don't have the time to, like I said, point out all of the numbers because I have the massive, the budget here is massive, and I have to put there, I have to be driving and be all of that.
Okay.
But the point I'm making here is that one can easily deduce if you have it 8.something billion United States dollars as a national budget, and out of the 8.something billion dollars as the budget, 89% of that money goes back to civil. I mean, it goes back to salaries, goes back to goods and services. That is it. That's to say, they're going back to the same government bureaucracy, right? It does not. So what it implies to us, for those that are listening, it means that there is nothing left for the people in the community, left for projects. There's nothing left for people in the community, left for roads. There's nothing left.
Okay, well, I mean, let's be fair enough that not funding goods and services to critical government institutions is something that was prevalent in the past administration that you serve, and Marco has a great proximity to. So, what is the difference?
Yeah, so the difference is that these people who came to the national discourse in terms of the rescue agenda and the arrest mantra, they said they would have done it better. They said they have all of the economists that would have had a spectacular turnaround, impacting the social economic condition of the masses of our people. That was what they voted on. They voted to rescue the country. So we are not saying that there were not challenges under our administration or the previous administration. But what they told the voting populace, the masses of our people, is that they will have come to do it better. So are we seeing any changes in the private sector? Are we seeing any changes in the private sector development? Is the budget speaking to employment opportunities, job creation? Is the budget getting up? Private sector development is targeting these infrastructure, for example, on roads and the number of kilometers of road that will be built under this administration.
But you were at the Ministry of Agriculture. Your government did not give equal priority to the Ministry of Agriculture and some of the private sector you're talking about.
But Fuller was quoting the Maputo Declaration of 2010 or 2010. That talked about 10% of any country's budget because African governments went in Mozambique, Maputo, and they signed the declaration, the Maputo Declaration, that says that 10% of your budget must go toward agriculture. Do we have 10%, first of all? Because if we want to address economic issues in the country, sustainable economic development, you cannot leave agriculture outside of the equation. Agriculture plays a very pivotal and significant role in shifting the economic condition of our people. So if we talk about agriculture, we go beyond just rice. We talk about agriculture. We talk about food and nutrition. We talk about agriculture. We talk about agriculture, fishery industry. We talk about agriculture. We talk about value addition, where goods or services are transformed into finished products and the value chain into investment into different.
Okay. I mean, we have one more round and then we'll go to the phone line. So let me well said. Let me take Fude.
I didn't complete. I was in flat. You said you were losing me.
Yeah, Marco, 1 minute. So yes, go ahead.
Some people will go to jail in this country. Some people will go to jail in this country for pastor harassing our financial and constitutional law of this country.
Why would people go to jail?
And one of
You say
this
bastard.
person is the prayer band economist Augustine De Gafon. In 2024, we had an odd budget spending of 15.2 million.
Okay.
Where you have Burma formula coming. Abu, guess what? All budget spending is used as a conduit to steal, misappropriate.
Is it
people's
illegal?
money.
Is it illegal? Is
It is illegal.
The PF?
No, it's illegal. Article 34D of the Constitution of Liberia says that if you are making any legislative approval or adjustment, you must seek the legislature approval and endorsement on it.
Okay.
So if you spend off budget without going for a recast to the national legislature, it's illegal. So also Article 15C of the Public Financial Management Act of Liberia, it says that the budget procedure must go through a legal channel with a legal legislature. Today, the Supreme Court, the powerful court in our nation history, is calling Rachel Kun a purported speaker. So it means everything that's happening, Abu, I'm very serious. The next administration, in a matter of few years, Augustine Gafon will be prosecuted, he will go to jail. Majority of the ministers that are using the money will go to jail. Even some of the vendors that do money, they will go to jail because an illegal instrument. But you see, they all budgeting. As I speak to you now, Gafon is on investigation. Gafon appropriated 17 million for under legislative hearing in 2024, according to the all budget spending. Abu, guess what? I'm not going to. I say, we not see no 17 million. As I speak to you now, in 2015.
And where do you think the money went?
Gafon should be telling us he went at the Senate yet to provide any documentation on how the legislature. You say you gave me 17 million, Abu, and I see 17 million. About I speak to you now. Guess what? In 2024, 59,805,000 were allocated for the national legislature. You know Gafon did? He went again an off-budget spending of 4,071,000. You understand that? Abu,
extra.
Abu, the legislature already having 59 million and extra 4 million. What for? You cannot account. Well, let's say we go to the Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance have 140,967,000 in the budget. Gafon went and did an extra 1,385,000. It's not go straight to the vice president office. No. We might not go to the vice president here. Let's go to the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs.
To the president office?
Yes. No. The office of the president.
Okay, let's go to the Ministry in general. Okay.
In the Ministry, you get different money.
I agree.
So, Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, 12,495,000. Gafon went and added an extra 317,000. So then go to the vice president office. Jamal Kwankun. It was mentioned to know vice president one he had 3,714,000. Costing Gafon did an extra of 67,682. Abu, the total of budget spending amounted to 13.3 million. Up to now, Gafon cannot account how those money was spent because you cannot just present such a bold figure. You say the president office, let's say on the legislature.
So when Gafon said he was an custodian with
budget spending.
Go ahead.
You know the cross of the all budget spending is the historical and constitutional contradiction being exhibited at the national legislature. Bulk of the all budget spending from the legislature that already had 59 million. You did an extra of 4 million. It was for the illegal removal of Speaker Kofa. So in essence, Abu, the budget was used by Gafon to commit unconstitutional act. The budget was being used by Gafan to institute a democratic coup d'etat. It means, what's on the evidence? And so what's on the evidence when you saw people and what they should be 25,000 in Kanye?
They've denied those claims.
Also, the money that the lawmaker accepted and he took. Is that denial? Abu, you cannot call it denial today when we have the Supreme Court telling you that one man is a purported speaker and another man is a speaker. How do you call that denial? Abu, we are saying that all budget spending, Gafan will go to jail. Gafan will be prosecuted. Any government, be it.
Gafan said he's rescuing the economy. He's helping.
Gafan has created. Gafan has proven to us that the budget today is a cash cow. There's something called and the K electricity in budget. Abu, in a hot room.
The K power.
The K power electricity. In a hot room. We saw over 365,000 in the order of the budget. That one is brave to say, no, and K power didn't do any work. The K power didn't do any work. So at the end of the day, we didn't give K power any money because the question was raised. What did K power do?
But it's reflected in the outcome.
But it's reflected in the outcome, so meaning they got the money. Abu, it will also make you to know that Gafan uses institutions, pass budget line, at the end of the day, he go and takes the money and carry it to Joe Brackett.
That is an accusation.
No, it's an allegation. When we saw a 524,000 contract to print a billing, the Ministry of Finance billing, I was secured to a company that had no experience. The company was involved into forgery, a third-degree felony under our law. The company used the letterhead of the American embassy. The American embassy said, this is fake. Getting recommendation. Today, Gafan hasn't canceled that contract. So it means Gafan operate on the basis of forgery, on the basis of irregularity, on the basis of unconstitutionality to what defraud the Liberian people. So Abu, I re-emphasize again. The entire budget that we're talking here is an illegal instrument that Gafan and other people will go to jail for. Ministers will go to jail for using the budget. Ministers will go to jail. Vendors will go to jail for this budget. We cannot continue to use the budget as a cash cow to make people rich. Gafan increased his 140 million budget to 204 million in 2025.
But with part of these things, you still see Gafan enjoying the confidence of the president.
Because you have a president who comes to the presidency on the basis of enriching himself to go into retirement. Hey, this is a man who tells you that 4% or 5% steal and to knock by surpassing the threshold of purchasing vehicle of 45,000. Someone went on the 5, someone went 50. At the end of the day, he suspended only one person. The remaining 4% at the office. Mr. Brackett endorsed. Guess what? We all know about the most disgraceful and disastrous inauguration since the founding of our nation. What did Mr. Brackett do to Miata family? He awarded her. He awarded a criminal. Today, Mr. Gafan.
Was there any investigation that established that she stole the money?
The investigation is still to the IAA, the internal audit. It will now come out.
Okay. Time is fast, man. Yeah.
So Abu, I'm just to end on the note. We want to tell our people.
Yeah.
If you say the budget is for the people, you will be talking to the motorcyclist contribution to the budget. Abu, those brothers contribute over $1 million Liberian dollars on a daily basis to the budget. You know how the budget will fail? You don't get a motorcyclist in the main road again. That is a high level of depreciation towards the budget. You come to the transportation sector. I saw MTA bringing 2 buses in the country. When former president of the CDC and George Weah bought over 48 different buses. Today, transportation price will increase. Abu, guess what? You know the contradiction of the whole budget? You know the exchange rate in the budget? And the exchange rate is 180. Is the physical exchange rate in the country 180, Abu?
Oh, yeah, that's a serious issue too.
Eh? The exchange rate
It's quite
in the
different.
880 million budget
CBL.
is 180. But you have LPRC releasing a citation that the exchange rate for fuel is 196. And so, Abu, which is the country we are living in? You have the Ministry of Finance telling you that the budget or the figure for exchange rate is 180.
What does that say about the minister's capacity, control, and of course, knowledge about the job?
A lack of understanding, and that is why for us, for the CDC Council of Patriots, we believe that Augustine Kafwan is a prayer-bearing economist, a man who uses religious rituals to solve economic problems. That is a historical contradiction. It cannot work. Abu, we want our people to be aware that this particular year, you see the ACORD? I do not recognize it. The ACORD is not important. Those same people in United Party, Mr. Bwake pay an orator $10,000 to come in this country on Independence Day and tell our people that America haven't done anything for Labrador. That Labrador have contributed more to America. No, the government should not be making noise on a 51
million.
On a 51 million. They caught. Because Abu, guess what? They were made you to know from 140 million Ministry of Finance to 204 million. That is a 61 million increment. 61 million. So just for the Ministry of Foreign, so let's take for example, just the Ministry of Finance increment in the budget of 61 million. It don't pass the 1 million. It passes Abu. So we are telling our people, ACORD will not be used as a precedent.
But let me read that because of time. We want to take a few calls. So let me ask Arvin, and let's conclude on this ACORD and we'll go to the phone lines. Arvin, the government is using the ACORD as what many will consider a smart way to scapegoat when they fail on delivering on the people's aspiration. They will say, "Oh, America took money from Liberia." What do you think?
Well, I think it's going to.
And Gafwan has been using it. He's been talking about it and all that. So let's hear you.
So Gafwan is a complete tabula rasa. He's a novice to looking at solutions that impact economic development and growth in our country. And that's why when he makes the blanket accession allegations about the withdrawal of aids is tantamount to the kind of problems, then he does not understand his work as the minister of finance. Because as the minister of finance, you are there to not complain, but to deal with the real economic issues and provide solutions. I expected this government, the rest of Gafwan, to put in austerity measures that could cut down waste. You cannot say yesterday, for example.
But they released an austerity measure on travels and other benefits, gasoline, scratch cards, and all of these. Are these now significant to you?
No, it's not. I'm saying that the majority of the budget goes back to salaries. Look at the budget, Abu. 880 million, everything going back. 89% of the budget goes back to salary. So it does not help. When we say austerity measure, we're talking about maximum political will. When you look at the speaker budget, you look at the vice president budget, you look at state-owned enterprises. Some of the guys are making 10,000, 15,000. The generator making 3,500. You have United States dollar. You need to cut down those things. That's the only way you can deal with other issues that are pertinent towards the economic and social development of the society. So you cannot say, because that cannot be an excuse for Gafwan, because even us, when we took over at the time, Omni was already drawing down, where you have to do harmonization to build those community roads, to do free education and free wash policy, to institutionalize them.
But you still have aid coming, helping in other sectors. But this government is going to be stripped of aid.
Yeah. So every government has its own dispensation of challenges. During our times, we're confronted with so many challenges. Worst among them after Army have withdrawn. Well, some of them was the issues about the Ebola crisis in the country.
Okay.
That Ebola for COVID-19, right? And the COVID-19 shock. I mean, it almost broke down everything around the world. There was economic depression.
Okay.
There were businesses around the world. I mean, investors around the world were not coming through.
All right. Fair. You know, Avi, I'm sorry, I have to hold you because of time.
In conclusion, it told the government of Liberia, honor His Excellency President George Manneh Weah, to say, let us cut down waste the salaries of ministers and different, lavish spending, and deal with the issues that border on the bread and butter of our. And that's why we invested into all these things. Today we have the 14th Medical Hospital. Today we have the Emory Hospital. We have the two community road. We have market structures built across the country and feeder roads established with being a free tuition policy. Those were the austerity measures that impacted the kind of structural progress we made on our administration. This government cannot escape this responsibility. It has to
Okay. I mean, Marco, please take 1 minute and so that we can pause.
You're suppressing me. I won't protest though.
Time
I was in flat. The man said I was not coming in clear. You stopped me and then you just held me down. So it is important to know that by April 30, the end of the year report will be up. So all these numbers that they got conflicted in the budget, that report, when it comes out, then the GAC will then audit the government. So we look forward to getting that report as well. But I was on something, I will come to the impact of the aid issue with the trickle-down effect, but I was on something talking about the issue about the outturn of the compensation. The outturn of the 2024 compensation was around, the approved budget for compensation in 2024 was $299 million. At some point, they said they did recast, they took it to 302, but I do know the approved budget was around $299 million. The $299 million, the outturn is around $295. If the outturn is around $295, CSA said that they did $2.4 million saving every month. If you subtract $2.4 million every month from the outturn, you will get to know. Yes, times 2.4 times 5. You get what? 10 million. So if we have an outturn around 295, it still says that there is fraud somewhere. So the budget should not really be any, the compensation should not really be any at 295.
Okay.
We talk about another 315. So there are a lot of numbers in between there that the people, so CSA say, oh, they clean payroll, they took ghost people from one payroll. From the cleaning up the payroll, you are saving 2.4 million. There was no policy there was no employment policy in 2024 that reflected that, oh, they hired new people. They said a new batch of people will be hired, or the increment on salary will be done in 2025. The finance minister himself spoke to that. So if the outturn of compensation ends around 295, then there is a question. The impact, let me just round down on this quickly. The impact of the aid thing that we're talking about, we're calling numbers, 51 million, this, that. So technically, when you're analyzing aid, 30% of the actual money comes to the economy. So if the aid has wound down, we'll get to know the people that are working with USAID in Liberia, the Liberians that have money to go to the supermarket, the Liberians that have money to go to pay their taxes, the Liberians that have money to rent certain apartments, there will be some diminishing in that particular ability to do so. So there will be a gap, that 30% gap of actual money coming in the economy. What's the strategy that Gafuan, as a finance minister, has said? Oh, we got a lot of ways. We got entertainment, SYZ million on entertainment. We got SYZ million on this particular thing. What did he actually talk about? Any approach? All the monies that they are wasting, NSA got 15 million to go chase politicians that will get critical on government. They got 20 million on things.
Marco Francis, Alvin Wisse has been here. We can take 2, 3, 4 calls just to hear from the people out there. It's important. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 221 86 500 104. Time is fast spent, but he has been an intriguing conversations around the economy and, of course, and all that you need to know about some of the fiscal decisions that has been taken by the rescue government, and the hope that lasts. So let's see. Okay, let's squeeze this guy. 30 seconds, my friend. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is the voice of
Mm-hmm.
You know, Abu, Boga is corrupt. Let me tell you how Boga is corrupt. Although we don't have more time. Abu, one who corrupt is a criminal, is a wrong. You see, Article 1 of the Nigerian Constitution is power to the people. All power is inherited in the people. So, who is the people? The non-people. The non-people are supposed to be the ones to talk for us, to appropriate for us. But Boga, yes, Boga, man, the non-people. So he put it against one another so they can see our money from people.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Bring his corruption, King Kong. We have somebody there.
Good morning. How you doing?
Relatively okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me say to the people for you and our guests. This is Esmoka, the visual impaired and keeping this on prepare presidency to the fire to deliver. So, clear cut. Our government, that fight, there were challenges, as the president always said, President we have discipline economically, but this government, absolutely there is no discipline. And the only thing that brought Gafua into this country is because the institution that he presides over had taken money onto illegally. The only place that he can do that is in Liberia. So this is why all of the mistake, all of the allocation that have been made, the impact is not fair because he's taking it and putting it into his pocket. Okay? The impact is was made available during our time.
Thank you. Let me take the one. Hello, morning. Morning.
This is Asudino, and I join you from the Lower Johnsonville.
Go ahead.
You know, we always listen to Freedom FM, and while that we have to be opposition, but it's shocking me not to be able to hear from you, being giving authority as to how countries should move forward. But you who are there, always insulting. And I can assure you, 2029, even if we bring Josh Weir, we'll still be in. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning. There are some human beings that can be comfortable with suffering. So, hello, good morning.
Good morning, my son. To all your guests, your senior guests, good morning to them. State Master College for Cloud and Lele Yeke.
Go ahead.
The general for Freedom FM.
Mm-hmm.
And all the FM there in this country. Now, when you hear my still volley can be me, the whole place can walk off. Lord, my son, thank you for coming in studio. To all of you, say thank you. Well, my son, I will get the problem, get the issue. You know what, Abu?
Mm-mm. But you won't call us for us to talk about that issue. Let's just contribute your point, and then I'll call you after the show to talk about the issue.
I want to say, but I want to tell you that we made happy. We bought happy. We get education. When he comes to the public, so we let people the public all my saying lapa the dollar, say you go. I said it better brigade that they need a worker.
Okay.
Brigade that our level, me our family get my soul.
Okay.
We listening to you. We follow you. We learning from you.
So he must break the book down.
He must bring the book down.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So I mean, the woman say you must bring the vocabulary down, so that they will be understanding when they're selling their cool and their cool boy and all that. So, but gentlemen, we got to go home, man. We're fast out of time, and so let's begin with Fode. Since Fode is right here, Fode, how do you leave us?
Today, our country is at a crossroad. We are operating an unconstitutional illegal project.
Okay.
I re-emphasize. The next administration, we will ensure that Gafon and everyone spending the particular people's money illegally, they will all be arrested, prosecuted, and made to restitute every dime that they are spending of the people's money to enrich themselves. Abu, in conclusion, we want to inform our people this country is not just wallowing in hunger, pain, and angling. Corruption has been criminalized, they have been accepted, they have been legalized. There are tough days ahead. Our budget will shuffle.
Okay.
Our budget will shuffle. We want to give our people courage and hope, believing that it is important we try to understand the difficulties of today, and we hope that very, very soon, Josh Weir will come back and face this.
Thank you very much, Marco Francis Star.
Yeah, it's a good thing being here.
After 30 seconds.
It's a good thing being here this morning and sharing breakfast with our people. But our protest, my man, you didn't treat me well, honestly. you kept calling me up. You kept hijacking me. But I want to make this clear. The CDC had more confrontations, had more challenges confronting its government than this regime. When the CDC came to power, you saw the wind down of home bill, around 300 million that was coming to the economy got cut off. And, we had COVID in 2019, 2020, COVID hit the country. And you saw the implication of COVID. So with all these things happening, imagine the CDC government, we were challenged educationally, taking the budget of just UL, for example, from 14 million to 10 million. Funding national election. I will stop there.
Thank you very much, my brother.
It was a pleasure being here. My name is Michael Francis Starr, and I hope to join anytime soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so kindly. Avin, we are out of time. How do you like to leave your people? So we say, are you there? Okay, so Avin is off. Hey guys, we gotta go home.
Definitely, we have to go home, and we'll be here on tomorrow. It was quite fascinating this morning with our team of panelists, and yes, we can do more of these as time goes by. Yeah,
that's correct. My name is Abu, and of course, that's how we like to leave you. Bye bye.